For many people, rising summer temperatures mean more folks are outside. Public health works to provide residents with the information to stay healthy, and EMS provides support to people with medical emergencies. This time of year, though, many of those emergencies are heat-related. Joining us from the Wake County Public Health Department is Michelle Ritchie, and from the Wake County EMS, Jeffrey Hammerstein. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Eric.
First, Michelle, let's start with you. What are some of the most important things people can do to maintain their health during the summer?
Well, one of the things, as you're thinking about rising temperatures and people being outdoors more, is of course to protect ourselves from the sun. It's great for your health to be outside and be physically active, but we also have to be careful and take care of our skin and protect it from the sun's harmful rays. And sun is something we're exposed to every day, not just when we're taking a trip to the beach or when we're out on the ball field with our kids. Sun exposure goes on every day, so people need to think every day about how to protect their skin.
And for those that do a great job in protecting their skin, many others are forgetting to stay hydrated. Jeffrey, can you talk a little bit about the importance of staying hydrated?
Absolutely. You know, when we think in terms of weather events, we all fear the tornado and the hurricane, and understandably, but the thing is that the heat waves can actually do take more lives than all the rest of the weather events combined. So we've got to be prepared for those, got to stay hydrated. What happens with the heat wave, I think in a lot of cases, is people get caught by surprise. They don't necessarily understand their own limits, so they're not pre-hydrating enough. They're not stopping and taking those breaks and hydrating throughout the time. The high heat and the exertion, that uses up a lot of fluids, that brings your temperature up, and that's the combination that starts to get people in trouble.
When it's hot like this, if the folks are not getting the water inside, they're trying to douse themselves outside by either jumping in pools, hitting the beaches, lakes, or on the boats. But what are some of the things that people need to know so that they don't have to call you or your colleagues for help?
You know, Eric, drowning prevention is one of the most important things that we can talk about here. Drowning is actually the third leading cause of death among our young people, and in many cases it's quite preventable. We see a couple of different situations in the natural bodies of water, lakes, rivers, and streams, that type of thing. Oftentimes what catches people by surprise is that there are things under the surface that they don't know are there. For example, strong currents, maybe debris, trash of some sort, branches, that may pull somebody or entangle somebody and hold them underwater, and we ended up losing them that way. If you don't know what's under that body of water, then you have to understand that what's under there may kill you, and you have to be aware of that. The other side being in swimming pools that we often see, the key word there is supervision, I think. Whether it's adolescents up through adults, if you're out swimming together, you got to keep an eye on each other. If somebody goes under the water, you need to know that, and you need to help get them up. By the same token, no child, of course, should ever be without adult supervision, but there again, supervision is that key word. If that child goes under the water and stays under the water, you have to know it, you have to get them up. Laying back, soaking up the sun, closing your eyes with your iPod in is not the same thing as supervision. You have to be aware.
Good points. Michelle, another point that folks tend to forget during the summer season is the increase in ticks. Walking in those wooded paths, really nice to go in there, but there are some things that you need to also be aware of when it comes to checking yourself or your pets for ticks.
That certainly is key. One of the things that's really important is to be aware of your surroundings. If you're in places where ticks like to hang out, like in tall grassy areas or brushy areas or in the woods, places like you described, you really need to be aware, and when you come out of those areas, you need to check yourself for ticks. Likewise, if you're working in your yard and you're clearing out a flower bed or raking up leaves, leaf litter is another place that ticks like to hang out. So you need to be sure when you come in to check yourself for ticks. Ticks like to hang out in warm areas on the body where it's moist, so you need to be careful and check all parts of your body, behind your ears, around your neck, under your arms, your groin area. All are places that ticks like to be. And one of the things you can do right within a couple of hours of coming in is to take a shower, because that'll help you spot any ticks that might be on you, and also it'll rinse ticks off because they don't tend to attach right away.
Michelle and Jeffrey, before we close, what's the best tip you can give to citizens as they prepare for the spring and summer seasons?
Well, Eric, the American Cancer Society gives us a great little catchphrase in terms of sun protection: slip, slop, slap, and wrap. That is slip on a shirt, long sleeve shirts, long legged pants. Just protect your skin by covering it up. Slap on the sunscreen. Slap a hat on your head to protect your face and areas that are exposed to the sun. And also wrap on some sunglasses, large lens glasses or wraparound glasses that help protect your skin from the sun's harmful rays.
And Jeffrey, can you top that?
Well, I won't try to top it, I'll just add to it. My most important point is that we have to realize that every last one of us are entirely susceptible to heat illness and heat emergencies. One of the most common things we see during the heat waves are the young 20-year-old fully fit person out jogging and running that day, and they end up going too far and collapsing. So understand we're all susceptible. Prevention works, so be smart and pre-hydrate and take breaks and hydrate along the way.
All right, Michelle, Jeffrey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And you, the citizens, can find out more information about how to protect yourself this summer by just visiting wakegov.com.